For the past few days, I've been so high on cold medicine, I think I was closer to Mars than I was Earth, but I decided to sober up for that ReZero greatness to return, only to be slapped in the face harder than this songstress was by Priscilla's plot. I thought that, I was like, there's no way they're going to top that reaction. And then they kill my boy. And the crazy thing, too, is I assumed he didn't actually die. I thought, oh, he just did a rapid heal. No, apparently Reinhardt, he can die, but like a phoenix rises back up. At this point, we should probably just assume, I mean, I already kind of did, but at this point, I'm convinced he has to be the most busted and broken character in ReZero. This man is essentially going up against someone who has seemed to be indestructible, and now is fighting as an indestructible person, whose reaction is, when the thought of, you might die again, is, I would prefer not to. I would prefer not to die again. That's not the answer of a man who's like, I'm limited. It's kind of unpleasant. I would prefer not to get slashed again. But if it happens, it happens. The more I see of this character, the more I'm convinced he's supposed to be the main character in like literally any other show, because he is literally a walking plot. I'm not even gonna say plot armor, just the walking plot. To be honest, I'm surprised the songstress even moved after the start of the episode. I thought for sure it would be like a 1 or 2 second gag. That girl was just, she questioned her sexuality hard in that moment. And honestly, I'm just imagining if this would have happened to Subaru, but towards Amelia, he would have isekai'd himself again through a nosebleed. Yeah, this was a 10 out of 10 episode. I just wasn't expecting the freaking Phoenix Rising moment. Brutal. Want to support my work though and see my full thoughts on these episodes? You know, I got the Patreon where we got those full live reactions to this ReZero greatness over there exclusively. So it's been a bit of a wait. Not the craziest wait. But yes, we only did get 8 episodes before it went on break. But hey, I mean, with how much they were cooking, I was completely okay if that meant, you know, they needed to make sure, because it was clear like the action was going to continue for a while. I'd rather you take your time, polish this bad boy up, and return. And they just kickstart and they return beautifully. And there's a lot of different plot points going on, and there's definitely some I think I'm more interested in other, just because I think of the emotional attachment, such as my boy Wilhelm going up against his wife's corpse. Like, that's no matter how you spin that, that's a pretty emotionally engaging plot line there. They definitely set up some death flags for Garf, I felt like, in this episode. It really feels like our boy's gonna have to end up, you know, being a human shield. Wilhelm's gonna have to take a sacrifice or something. I don't know. I got concerns right now. I'm hoping not, but if you're gonna say Reinhardt's indestructible Phoenix Rising, someone's probably not gonna make it out alive, and it's looking bad. I mean, the damn bitch comes in at the very end, transforming into all the different voices, saying, gotcha, and one character's bedridden, and the other character I don't have a lot of confidence is combat capable to deal with this. Like, they are setting it up to be absolutely just death-filled. Now, Subaru I'm not too worried about at the moment, which is refreshing in a way, because often we are. I mean, they kind of did ruin him last episode, because, you know, they give him the veiny, monstrous arm. Amelia only noticed his leg, bless her soul, because there's worse things to figure out. Just top to bottom this episode, it reminds you why you love ReZero. It just gets you absolutely back into the, we're not even in the driver's seat, we're in the passenger seat. Subaru takes the wheel and he drives us wherever the hell in Abominationville he wants to go. And the different plot points are all so differently engaging, but in equal ways. Like, the Wilhelm stuff's interesting, because I think in a lot of cases an author would maybe revert the development we've had. And what I mean is, the whole whale situation, that was a very big moment for his character, because it felt like he was honoring his wife and, you know, was putting something to rest that has haunted him. By essentially bringing her back, it would normally revert that development, but not in this case, because it just makes you more pissed, because it's like, yes, there's more that he didn't realize he has to deal with, but it just makes you infuriated similar to him, because it's like, you essentially are taking her corpse and dancing it around. Yeah, like, we have to put this out of their misery, right? Of course, you have stuff like Subaru, who, you know, ended last with his boy kicking a door into this man's face, which was fantastic. And it's really sad to see the wives, because they are so convinced that he is indestructible, meaning they can't leave without his approval, because no matter what you're doing in front of them, they firmly believe that their husband will win, and if they make any moves that he disagrees with, whatever their current situation is, will seem like heaven compared to the hell he'll put them through. Like, that is... it's tragic. Like, all the different pieces of storytelling. Yeah, the episode kicks off with the funniest fan service they could have done, because given the intensity of how episode 8 ended, to kickstart an episode off with a girl quite literally drooling, almost isekaiing herself from being like, God, I love that body. And she pulled that shit off confidently. Like, that wasn't a, oh, she's like, yeah, I'm sexy as hell. And I'm like, maybe she should be on the throne. That's all I'm saying. The more I'm seeing a prissy pants, the more I'm like, you know, she's got the confidence here. Just such a good episode. The more you watch, you think there's no way they're going to top it. Like, they're not going to make it more intense. They're not going to make it more brutal. They're not going to make it more engaging. And then they do. And they continuously do it. The only way they could possibly hurt the viewers is to get most of the way through all this and then kill Subaru. And he has, like, the worst checkpoint. But this is a different arc. Yeah, like, yeah, he died a couple of times at the start of the season, but this is the longest he's gone with the amount of bullshit that he's dealt with without dying. And he's been through the ringer. Like, look at his freaking arm, man. Like, that shit is gross. He needs to wear a glove or something. I don't know. But either way, this was a great return. It did everything I think I wanted it to do. Really just keep up the excitement, keep up the adrenaline. And yeah, they did a bit of everything. They teased a bit of every little plot point that's currently active. And while definitely there's sometimes I'm like, man, I wish we could focus on this one a little longer, all the ones that they're teasing seem very, very engaging. And all of these archbishops are completely psycho in different but equally terrifying ways. And while I definitely have my favorites, like, you know, Reinhardt beating up Diddy over here, or Wilhelm trying to, you know, avenge his wife and everything like that, there's so many great things happening, and the quality is remaining damn consistent. I mean, in a perfect world, sure, I would have loved to have the entire season in one straight batch, but if it means keeping up quality, take a couple months, 3 months, 4 months break and come back to me. Like, it was a well-planned break, in my opinion, and I don't think it disrupted the flow or hype of the season at all, because everyone knew what we were expecting. And because of that, we know most likely the remaining, 7 episodes or whatever, are going to be absolutely peak. You let me know your thoughts down below, whether if you're a source reader who was anticipating many of these moments, or if you're anime only like me, baffled by the fact that they came out with the plot swinging, quite literally. You let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Kirito Ray, Shut Your Trap, Frank the Bank, Daniels, Andrea Gramuller, Jody Gregg, Ray Roar, Philip, and we also have Fred A. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You know, have a good one.